Hello? 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 Yes, so I was in
Oh,
the league last season. I drove for Haas with Rob Arnold last year. And yeah, only did half the season because I joined pretty late. But no, it was really good. A couple of points finishes. And yeah.
six. Apologies, I realised my mic was muted at the start of the stream. But this is Griff introducing himself. He's going to be replacing Liam this week, so we've got a bit more of a driver's insight because as you heard there, Griff got some points finishes last season when he was on. I only managed to get a few of those, not very many, and mainly DNFs. He's in his racing seat, he's in his Aston Martin gear, so he should be able to give us a bit more of a driver's perspective. But hello, welcome. Session 2, Race 2 here in Jeddah for the BBB Racing League. Should be a good one. I was saying, I think we were chatting to the drivers beforehand. Should be a bit more of a dangerous session, I think. People not too happy at the moment.
Yeah, just in the chat before, and a lot of people in practice were struggling with setup. Lots of people not happy with the rear end of their car, kind of mid corner. So yeah, we'll see what differences, what things have changed between practice and now, and if who can put together the cleanest lap.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit tough, but just quickly, I think I wanted to show what happened last week. We did have a solid race, so I think we'll just show that for the catch-up, and then I think we're going to be jumping straight into quali because I think things have been moving on a little bit quicker than we anticipated here. Everyone seems to be improving now with the track conditions getting a little bit better.
But who we did see improve, but only to ninth, is Alex Stopp, our former world champion and run-up from last season.
Yeah, that is a bit of a shock, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, a tadpole.
I thought he would do a lot better than that, but it does look like Hegel's coming on a lap now. Can't see. Oh, and he does! 28-4! Oh, and they both improve. But Hegel, again, it's a few thousandths different between him and Tadpole, but that's all that matters. And he is going to be the snatching pole position at the last.
Literally by the tiniest of margins. When I saw Tadpole improve, I obviously thought there's no one beating that.
But the lights are on. I'm waiting for them now. The lights are off. The race is on. Very slow getaway from a lot of people. They're actually seeing two starts infringements going there, so penalties straight away. Looks like Hegel has managed to get a good run, but what has come from nowhere? Oh, big crash in the background. That is Pengoy out straight away on turn one. And actual disaster there. Logan, miles off the track, is managing to come up through. This is quite messy as we see Hegelfire is now going to take the place back. And I think that's a safety car straight away. Wow, that was a quick bit of chaos at the start there. Logan famously crashing under safety car restarts, which is something you must avoid. But he needs to get a good jump on Logan. He'll probably go very late. What tends to happen here? Yeah, braking on the edge of the corner there, just backing up the pack a little bit. And I think he's away now. I think Tadpole's got a fantastic run on Logan here, coming down into the first corner. Definitely doesn't look like Hegel's going to be the one making a move. It really needs to be Tadpole doing something here. Logan diving to the inside. Tadpole looking to go around the outside. Logan getting a fantastic dive down there. Actually keeping it on the track as well. Hegel, is he going to be able to come back at him now? Oh, he's just on the outside. They're giving each other enough room. This is absolutely tight racing at the top here. Tadpole just sitting in the back now. Logan managing to get through. Probably not going to have a chance to go back at him now.
Oh my, before they even reach turn one, Hegelfire plays is ahead of Logan.
Oh, I think there was contact. I think there was a little bit of a shove there from Logan. I did wonder how he's going to get that shot down.
And
what a move from Tadpole around the outside of Logan. He's also going to have DRS here. He's going to surely take the lead from this. Round the outside of one, up the inside of the other, into the lead going into after the first sector. Fantastic move from Tadpole there. Really claiming his stake on this race and on this season really as a newcomer. This could be an opportunity for Logan to maybe get a little bit of a run on Hegel here, because Hegel had a bit of a wobble in this section before. Oh, as we see Tadpole taking his pit lane, and now the really important thing is here, does he have to stop for this penalty? Will this be a penalty that he can serve in the pits, or will this be one that we can be discussed after the race? He comes in now. They are going to
He
serve
is
the penalty
taking
now.
the penalty now. Yep.
Oh, well, hopefully that's not an undeserved penalty because that is a long time to wait. Actually swapping onto the hard tyre. So going to be swapping onto the hards now. Very important lap for him. What's he going to do? Hegel's going to stay out. Logan deciding to come in and pit. Make sure he slows down for the pit lane. He does. That was always my least favourite part of any race, slowing down for that pit lane. But so see if he's going to go onto the hards as well. It does appear to be that's the strategy. So if we jump onto Hegel, let's see if he can come out of here ahead of Logan, or if Logan's going to jump him. I think I got it about a 27-second gap, which feels quite long. Feels like Logan should be okay there.
He's put on the hard tyres, so he will be on the hards to the end.
Logan looks like he's in a bit of traffic here. There's a lot of cars coming down this main straight right now, waiting for Hegel. So Logan actually going to have a little bit of DRS and drag right through, but it looks like he's come clear out from Hegel. Oh no, sorry, he hasn't at all. Logan's miles back. So now this is the lap that it's all going to matter. Logan needs to get with these warmer hards, I guess. I don't know how warm they're going to be. But with these fresher tyres, these warm tyres, he needs to chase down Hegel. Needs to make sure he gets within a second for the next main straight. Otherwise, Hegel is going to have a massive advantage. But look
those
at that
cold
already.
tyres, Venus has got ahead of Hegel. Hegel, I can't even say his name right now. Hegel Fireplays.
Oh, and Logan already right
he's right on the back of him.
Tyres are absolutely freezing right now. Logan's going to make a nice, easy move down the inside. And that is the problem with these tyres.
Oh, we've had a Red Bull spin.
Oh,
And he's out of the race.
Oh, was that a DNF? Was that a big crash?
That was a DNF. That was a crash between Hegel Fireplays and Brian.
Absolute nightmare for Brian. That's what a shame for him. 14 laps on those hards and he's out. But yeah, Hegel really, really struggling with these hards. And Logan actually is in danger of just getting away from with the little slipstream that he's got from Venus. He's going to be able to get that gap to a second, surely. Yeah, he already has 1.5 seconds. So fantastic strategy from Logan there, getting the undercut done to perfection. Alex still praying for a safety.
He's in the pit. He's in the pits.
Oh no, he's in the pits now. Finally, I was going to say that's getting a bit ridiculous.
Let's see where he comes out.
Oh, he's going to drop quite far back. I think probably P7ish.
Before they came into the pits, he was right on the back of Mark Baker's tail. So this will be interesting to see.
Surely. Oh, Mark's on the hards though. Oh wow, this is going to be.
But he was in front of Ginny.
Yeah. So Mark is going to come out just ahead. Oh, yeah, Mark is going to stay ahead. But surely now, Alex, with these fresh softs, is going to be really looking to make a dent in this. You've got to say what's that like 15 seconds for the top five. I mean, it's doable. But I mean, I don't know if Griffiths is going to want to do that, as we do see Alex. Yes, that's the fastest lap. He does make it past his teammate. Surely Mark's just going to let this one go. Yeah, he does so. Not going to be super happy about that one, Mark, I'm sure. But now 3.8 seconds. We've only got a few laps to go here. I don't know if Legion's going to be able to get on the back of Tadpole. I mean, that is a huge deficit in tyre difference there. 2 lap softs and 12 lap hards. As I'm just waiting for that Alex gap to get under a second. It's tantalisingly close. You would have thought that by the end of this sector, he's going to be within DRS range, and that's when I think might be a game over for Tadpole's chance of a podium.
With DRS, he is almost pushing him out of the corner. What was interesting about this is Tadpole was only asking the questions early in the week, how good is Alex Stop? Well, we're about to find out in this Sector 3 of this last lap.
Yeah, I think this is just close enough. I think Logan is going to be taking this one unless he does anything mad in the final sector. But now Alex needs to get a solid run through here. I think Tadpole did get a pretty nice run here. This is going to be neck and neck for the line. Great stuff from Logan to win the place. Great stuff from Hegel to get P2. Who is going to be joining them on that final stop? That's a great defensive move there from Tadpole. And actually, I don't think Alex has got a good enough exit to come through here. It is going to be a drag race to the line, but I don't think there's any ERS available for Alex. And Tadpole is going to secure his first podium of the season in his first race, in his first appearance. Gets that P3. Absolutely fantastic drive from all of our drivers here, but it is going to be a Hegelfire Tadpole podium. To say it looked like that early on, but it did not play out how we thought it would, I think, to get that. So good to see highlights there from last week. Logan coming out on top. Lovely little drag battle to the line there. It was really, really close, but I think it was great to see the new guys coming up and fighting at the end. But as we say, Logan managed to get a race win. Got a race win in Bahrain, I think season 1, maybe season 2. Never managed to convert that into a championship run, but I think he feels pretty confident at the moment. But jumping in, we've got 10 minutes left of this qualifying session around Jeddah. Plenty has been happening. Griff, do you want to just give us a little rundown of some of the things we've been seeing during the session?
So a few people getting some DNFs. I don't know whether that's down to connection or whatever it is. A few disqualifications already, but at the moment it seems to be Thomas who's out on top at the moment, getting chased by James. So we shall see who gets that pole.
Just to obviously clarify that Thomas and James, that is Hegel and Tadpole from last time out, who we just saw battling last week. Logan, self-proclaimed not a huge fan of this track. So while he is saying he's not going to be going for it, I think when it really comes down to it, he has that kind of winning attitude that he's just going to go for it anyway. But don't expect to see... Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, no one's going to back out of trying to do the best they can. No one's going to go, I'm not even going to go for it. Everyone will try their absolute hardest.
Exactly.
And, risk reward with this track.
I think, speaking of risk reward, I believe Logan on his first flying lap now, I think he just went purple in one of the sectors. I think it's now green. But he hasn't set a lap yet. I know if he can get a good lap in early, that will give him some solid confidence to go through. But he's got a little bit of the way to go. I think the other one to talk about here is Mark Baker. Used to be the Jeddah specialist in the Aston Martin car. Loved this track last year, but apparently not so much this year.
Yeah, he's just I'm not sure whether it's a setup issue or more of a kind of driver input, but I heard he was complaining more about just putting the laps together, feeling confident in the car, but just not seeing the times reflect that. So like I said, I hope he's just kind of get his head down and put together something special.
Yeah,
he is the specialist for this track. So
exactly. I think, as you say though, I been speaking to him before, and as you're saying there, Jeddah in particular, I think while those lap times are super important, especially in quali here, if you can be consistent here and just keep your nose out of the wall, that's instant top 5 finish, really. Because there's going to be so much carnage in this race. So I think he needs to focus on that a little bit more rather than these big times. But speaking of big times, Logan coming in with a 29.1, so putting him top end of the field, which is what he's going to be wanting. Definitely don't want to be too far back at the start of this one as well. So what did you say the lap times these guys were getting in time trial was?
Time trials, I think the best I've seen personally was Hegel with a 1:27.3, which was quite impressive, and then Tadpole just behind with a 1:27.5. Whether they'll get close to that in this qualifying session, not too sure, but we shall see. I think Hegel's with a 1:28.4 at the moment, so.
Yeah, some way to go, and still 4/10 clear of James at the moment, who will be looking to... I know we're looking to get that pole here. We've got these two at the moment. There's already been tagged the Liam and Alex of last season. A lot of people expecting these two to go right down to the wire for their championship. I wouldn't count Logan out, but I think the Aston Martins still have something to prove as well. Alex, who's sadly not here with us this week, he's got to be someone who would be looking for that championship rival, as we say that.
Just goes 2/10 clear.
So they're going to start tumbling down. This is an exact repeat of last week out in Bahrain, where it was just Thomas, then James, then Thomas, then James, and then I think James managed to get a last-minute pole that we thought was definitely unbeatable, and then on the very last, Hegel beaten by I think like 5,000th or something. It was ridiculous.
It was so incredible, but. Yeah, I think as we get towards the end of the session, people are going to start taking a bit more risk and start leaving less on the table. But obviously that creates a bit of excitement. So let's see who puts together a lap and who puts it in the wall.
Yeah, I think the risk or reward should pretty much be tattooed on Logan's arm at this point as well. Because I think if he's that's a solid time, a 29.1. These will probably fall down. That might put him down to like P6, P7 if people improve around him. But he might have that banker now and just go absolutely gun for it. And if he does so, he could definitely get pole here today.
Of course, I think out of all the top 5, I think could easily get pole. I know they can all do it.
Yeah, it's just going to come down to any lucky slipstreams. I mean, maybe some team orders. That would be nice to see. I love seeing team orders in Jeddah, just getting that slipstream.
Yeah, I think I could see that between Jason and Logan in the Ferraris there.
Yeah, apparently their team principal Leon has been absolutely incredible. I don't know if you caught that conversation earlier, but he's been like giving them track maps, telling them where they need to be to come out, to not get in each other's way, where to come out if they want to get a slipstream. He's been putting in so much work behind the scenes. So we've just started getting these team principals involved, and I wasn't entirely sure how much benefit that's really going to be. Obviously we're going for it as much as we can, but how much can that actually really help? But Leon apparently putting in work.
Oh yeah, like you said, we're not sure how much is going to help, but if Ferrari go 1-2 at this track with Jason and Logan, then we'll see it's quite beneficial. But
yeah, I mean,
whether the info they've got is accurate and works, and yeah, like I say, we'll find out.
It'd be great to see a big like thank you Leon, get Leon up on the podium if Logan manages to win it. I see him in the chat. How are the nerves doing, Leon? You're all right. Your boys are out there doing your best. Getting towards the pointy end of the session now. Maybe this one and maybe one more.
Yeah, it'll be last 1 or 2 runs now. Depends how much, how long they can make the ERS last. Because I mean, like, I always found with this with F122 compared to last year's game is getting 2 laps in with the battery is just it's really difficult.
Yeah, the battery just goes, doesn't it? And you just there's nothing you can do. You have to do like a lap and then you can't even do a recharge lap now, can you? Actually,
No, you can't turn it off unless you go incredibly slowly. But of course, that eats into your time. So yeah.
So I think we'll see. I mean, we can ride on board here with Thomas Hunter. I think now, yeah, this is probably the last couple of laps. I'm gonna go for a rogue Mark pole. I think Mark's going to pull it out of the bag somehow. I think he's been so furious with these young whippersnappers who've come in and just setting times that he can't beat. I do think he has something still left in the tank. So I'm gonna put my money on him. Where do you reckon you're going for?
It's still for me. It's out of Hegel or it's out of Thomas or James for me. They're like you say in the last race, it was just keep on switching between the two, and yeah, they're quite a way away from P3. So,
well, we'll see. We were supposed to do a hot lap segment of the week. I apologise. Time got away with us, and the racing just started. But we are on board with Hegel's hot lap for now, with some lovely sounds. Thank you, Codemasters, for these glitches. But this is going to be one of his main attempts to go through such a difficult part of the track to get right here. He managed to hold it in 6. Does he shift down or just stay there for the moment? He's going to keep it in 6 for the whole way through. Goes a bit wide.
The rear end getting a little bit happy there.
Yeah. He's abandoned the lap. Now, can he save this with ERS for the moment? Could he turn down that ERS now? Or is it just over? Does he have to come in and go for another one?
I think at the moment he's got almost nothing to lose. You know, just keep it. Just try and keep the charge high, and try and get to the end of the lap and go again. Because he's got time to go around again and cross the line. But yeah, it's that first sector is so crucial because that is where all the lap time is, and the minute you get out of rhythm, it kind of there's not much time to find elsewhere on the track. So it's kind of as soon as you bail out at the first sector, it kind of ruins the rest of your lap.
Just seeing, it's a very, very busy track out there at the moment. If you look around, Matt Larici in the Alfa Romeo around with Jason, there's a lot of cars on track. This is going to be a lot of laps happening very, very quickly. So just keep an eye on this. I do think our top 3 there, Logan managing to get ahead, Mark setting in a pretty good time as well, putting himself at the front of the field. That'll give him some confidence going into this one. But I'm not so sure who's gonna get this one. I just hope everyone gets it nice and clean, because it just looks a bit messy down there at the moment.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start giving each other a bit of room, I think, unless they're happy to drive on each other's gearboxes.
I think, who have we got coming on for a lap? Surely it's got to be. Everyone's on a lap currently, I believe. Harrison has retired from the session. It's going to be another incident. I think I'm going to stay on board with James for now, because I think this is going to be his lap. He currently has pole. I'm very, very curious to see if Thomas can actually get something from this, if he's managed to get enough power into his car to get a lap. But James is now going to set his lap from here, as Kennedy has crashed out as well. That's going to be the other Ferrari. It doesn't look like a great corner there for James, so he's going to just have to hope that Hegel doesn't get anything.
I've just seen Tadpole there. James just get a little bit twitchy on the exit of turn 1 and just clip the wall. I don't know if he if that's affected his lap, but he seems to be still carrying on.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how legal that lap's going to be. Yeah, has he pulled out?
He bailed out one of the front end in sector 1, kind of drifted wide and invalidated.
And that's Hegel crashing as well. So that's going to be P2 best. Logan's going to qualify in 3rd. A lot of people crashing at the last. I hope this is people just binning it into the wall rather than any sort of connection issue.
Yeah, I think it like I said earlier, it just comes down to that, final lap, give it all, or don't bother kind of thing, like.
Oh, quite a strange end to qualifying there then, as we just everyone seems to bin it at the last. I can't see anyone else making any sort of run for it now. We see we've got one of the Alfa Romeos still on a lap at the moment.
I think Matt Jinnett is still on a lap in the McLaren, currently down in P12.
Yeah, not representative.
Into the final corner now.
We'll see if what he can do from here. Oh, lots of people are retiring from the pits. Thank you for letting us know. What can Jinnett do? Jinnett out to P4.
Goes to P4.
Fantastic from him. Last week started at the back due to some issues with his setup, and actually had an amazing run through the field to make it up into, I think, P5 or 6. So really, really good. Lovely to see what he can do from P4. But Tadpole, or James Simmons, getting that pole position from Thomas Hunter. Logan Watt after him. Then Jinnett up in P4. Mark Baker up in P5. I think that's a good spot for him. Maybe we can just hold on to the back of these. We've got Jesse, Jason, Matt LaRich, Josh Wilmot, Arnie Nobin finishing out the top 10 with Harrison, Jordan, Robert, Jacob, Brian, Callum, Jake, and the other Brian, who was disqualified very early on in the session. So curious about what happened there. Griff, from this grid at the moment, who should you think we should be looking out for during the race?
I think, like you say, Jin is always one for carving through whatever cars are in front of him. We've seen him go from the back up to the podium places. We've seen him just flat out win races. So, my money's on him to do something impressive. But also, Hegel and Tadpole are going to be, very, very, very close.
Yeah,
James and Thomas.
I think it is worth noting though, Tadpole, James's time, a good 2/10 over Tom there. So not as close as last week. I think it was in the thousandths. This time, that's a bit more of a marker that he's laid down. And with Logan just a 10th behind him, and then half a second from P1 to P5. That's a bit more of a gap than we saw last time. So potential for James to just run away with this one. I think that would be the easy choice to go. I'm going 2 for 2. My man Logan, he's in P3. My old teammate, I'll always support him. What's your prediction for the winner on this race?
Ooh, it's a tricky one, like I say, because we know everyone in here is pretty evenly matched, and it is close. But it's the same. It's that risk reward. Some people are going to try and hammer it every lap. Some people are probably going to be a bit more cautious, especially on the kind of harder tyres. So
yeah, there was people speaking about the harder tyres. I know Logan saying he might start on the hard tyres.
Yeah, we might see some really interesting strategies.
Yeah,
if Logan's starting on the hard tyres, but you might have James up there on the softs. So we'll have to look out for the different strategies.
Here we go then. The lights coming on as we wait for them to go off. The lights go off. The race is on. A drive-through penalty start from Matt LaRich at the at the beginning here. A bit of a slow start again, as we see Jason Kennedy are running up the inside of James there. James getting a good run at the moment. One of the Ferraris ghosting. A bit of contact there. It's going to be from Jinnit and Logan, I believe. 2 Ferraris making their way up at the moment. Logan up, keeping that P3. Oh, big crash. Huge crash in the background. That's Mark definitely out of the race already. Jinnit dropping down as well. Absolute disaster at the back of the field. As we already see lap 1, turn 1 safety car, just as you come to expect in BBB at the moment. That looked pretty rough, I think, coming into that first sector.
Yeah, the sector 1 of this track I always found is, you know, a mess, especially that kind of sharp left-hander just after turn 2, and yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for Mark there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always knew there was something going to be happening on this one. Jeddah just tends to do that in these races, but it is a shame that it happened to Mark. That's a good qualifying position for him. I think would have been really nice to see him do something special from there, but unfortunately not going to happen. Jinnit, though, we've seen this before, haven't we? Jinnit's got damage on his car. He's going to be pitting on lap 1, and then he's got the whole race to have fun and try and crawl through.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that.
My game's just gone a bit weird, so I might have to leave.
That's all good. We'll stay on board with Jinnit. I'm trying to have a look to see if anyone else is going to do any kind of funky pitting strategies at the moment, and actually just have a check to see if anyone else got any damage during that opening stint, because there looked like more than just one car colliding there. We're going to see from the front of the grid, anyone going to jump in at the moment? Doesn't look like it for now. The leaders staying out. It'd be great to see. I'm just looking in the background. One of the Ferraris going a bit slowly there. Oh, that was a virtual safety car. We're back. I thought that was a full safety car there. So we are back underway here. That caught me napping. I think it caught a few other people napping as well, as Matt Laurino managing to get up into P4 at the moment. Logan keeping it nice in P3. Going to stay on with Matt Laurino. I think he might have some damage at the moment. Jason, sorry, as he's dropping back through the field ever so slightly. But a lot of ghosting cars going on at the moment. It's a bit of an issue as we see Brian actually managing to hold it up into P5, which is pretty nice. So the leaders are Tadpole, Hegel and Logan. We've seen that before. Luckily, this first lap incident was a little bit less severe than the last one, apparently, as the drivers able to just get away with a VSC. As we see the strategy thing coming up there saying that a medium to hard stop is one of the options, as we see a very slow look at McLaren, and that is Thomas Hunter, one of the race leader contenders. Obviously had a moment there, and he now drops back into the field, which gives James a second gap over Logan. And now Hegel or Thomas needs to be very, very careful going through this part of the track, as he's going to be a little bit slow. Those tyres going to be not warmed up, and he could be pretty fresh meat for a lot of these drivers around him.
The tyre warm up on this game is quite a painful one on that outlap. You know, you want to race people, but it's incredibly difficult. The rear end is just going everywhere, and you have to be really patient. You have to kind of bide your time until the tyres are up to temperature, and it can get very frustrating. And obviously, frustration behind the wheel is not what you want.
Yeah, especially around Jeddah, where every single corner you come around, a wall comes at you just as quickly. Seeing a lot more people dropping into the pits, I believe. Matt Laurino taking an early stop, as Jacob coming up into P9. So yeah, a bit of a rough start here, but the race very much underway now. Logan, I seeing already climbing down that gap towards James. He needs to keep that within a second, because a lot of the time around here in Jeddah, if you get within a second, that's kind of a free lap time for quite a while, just because of how powerful the slipstream and DRS is. So vital for him to try and keep that gap.
For some reason I can't get back into the game.
I'll have to have a look at that. I believe we have one of the drivers having an issue not being able to join back into the game either, which is a bit of an issue. We'll have to look into that at the moment. It's a 5-second penalty going the way of Brian 2K. Going to keep on this battle with the leaders for now. Quite frustrating server issues at the moment, ruining what could be a pretty fantastic race. I'm sure our race stewards will have to look into that and see how that affects it.
I've got a yellow. That's clear.
Are you back in? You back in with me, Griff?
I'm watching your stream.
Oh, sweet, nice. As we see Logan managing to keep that second gap. Actually, Harrison and Brian now having a bit of a run on each other. Brian making a fantastic race. He's starting on the hards. I saw a lot of people saying that the hards were the ones to go for in this. As we see another either safety car or okay, the safety car is out now. We'll take a quick breather here when the safety car comes out to just take check on what's going on, because there's a lot of issues going on right now. Not just with the cars. We've got people struggling to jump back in. So bear with us 1 second. Cool. Apologies for the technical problems. We love Codemasters. Best game, best F1 game. Keep them coming, guys. So, safety car is out. Lots of drivers have pitted already, and just as I say that, James is going to come in for his pit stop. What is Logan going to do? He's going to follow him in. 5-second penalty, though, for James coming into the pits. Logan is going to crawl through that pit lane to make sure he doesn't get that and gets the advantage. So once again now, Logan, P2, Tadpole out there with the penalty. So potentially another win on the table now for Logan.
Still can't join.
That is such a shame. Yeah, it's going to be really annoying for the drivers if they can't rejoin the lobby. I don't know why that would be the case. Really, really frustrating. Oh, So we are back in. Apologies for this, guys. Having a bit of a technical nightmare here today. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are back. A lot of drivers having difficulty. We've got our lovely commentator Griff stuck, not being able to join. And we've got one of our drivers sadly not being able to join as well. But we are back. We are here. We're going to recap what's going on with the race. Because it's actually been quite an interesting race so far. So if we look at our top four here, we've got Brian, Josh, Jesse. Brian, Josh and Jesse have all pitted, so those are on 4-lap old tyres. We've got James, who I believe I'm sure we saw him come into the pits actually. Tadpole. Oh yeah. So he's on these fresh hards there in P4. So look out for him. Logan also fresh hards P6. So I think some of these guys who got damage early on in the race, looks like they've managed to get out in front of these guys, get a free pit stop. And I don't know, to me 4 laps on hard tyres doesn't seem like a huge advantage versus 0 like fresh tyres. Do you think that's a huge difference there?
I personally would have stuck with the mediums. If it was me, I would have stayed out on the mediums, 5 laps on mediums and then fresh hards. I think the mediums will have the advantage still at this point in the race. Maybe by lap 10 we might see the hards come into play, but yeah, if it was me I would have stayed with the medium tyre.
So you think James here, even though he's just pitted for fresh hards, not really got much of an advantage here on the guys in front of him on those slightly older mediums and hards?
No, I don't think so, and especially now that they're behind the safety car with the tyres starting to cool down, unless they can keep them hot to the best of their ability. But no, I think Josh and Jesse will have the advantage there.
Nice. Well, that's pretty good to see, especially with Brian out front leading the race. Someone who had a pretty impressive appearance in the qualifiers, and now
and with Robert Arnold up there.
Yeah, our Lord and Saviour Rob, who managed to sort out our amazing Karun Chanbot in our Discord, which is super fun to use. Great tool for the stream as well. Lovely to see him and Matt Haas doing super well. Logan, I think, from my opinion, I think Logan's going to think he's played a blinder here with these hards. It's sitting on fresh hards, but I think maybe this race might be a bit more difficult than these guys are predicting. And I really hope so, because I'd love to see Brian do well from the front here. That'd be amazing to see. I'm trying to think. Jinnit, obviously not. It's a shame. I thought with Jinnit's crash and when it happened, I thought he'd be in a bit of a better position there, but seems to not manage to gain anything from that.
I still think he's gonna, considering he's at the back now, I think he might maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll see something spectacular and he'll just carve through the entire field and do like 20 laps from now on those hard and then go for softs at the end.
I do think, I mean, you joke, but I do think there's going to be a fair few drivers who will take these hards now and just take them through to the end of the race.
Yeah, especially people who didn't benefit from the safety car, like Jinnit. He's all the way at the back there, so yeah, let's see what he can do. I have faith in him.
Yeah, definitely.
He can do something spectacular.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubting Jinnit coming from the back and making a bit of a scene. I think it's good to see now Tadpole's going to have a little bit of a more difficult time, because I think he really thought that maybe he could run away with this race. This was another penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. That's not one I've seen very much of, if I'm honest.
No, I've never seen that.
No.
From our drivers. It's interesting.
I don't know even how they'd even get that. What would that be a case of? Overtaking? Surely not.
Maybe someone just kind of like trying to keep the heat in their brakes and tapping the brake pedal a little harder than the person behind is expecting, and then just overshot.
Oh, maybe we'll have to see. As we
Perhaps,
see,
but,
after all that chat about Rob, he has jumped into the pits for the soft tyre. That's. Can you explain to me that choice at all? The soft tyre.
At this stage in the race, I couldn't. No, because it's not a tyre that I would have chosen, but maybe he knows something that we don't about what he can do with that tyre. Maybe he's seen everyone around him. Just if you look at the kind of outside the top 10, they're pretty much all on the hard tyres. So maybe he's just trying to sneak into that top 10.
I mean,
soft, and then go to the end of the race on either hards or mediums.
I wonder if it could be just banking on a safety car, potentially as well.
It could also be that.
If he could just. There you go.
Yeah, we've already had safety car already. What was it? Oh, and one of the Alfa Romeos nearly lost it.
He is going to lose a place there. That was a. I don't know. I feel like that's commentator's curse to just randomly switch to one of the Alphas and watch them totally spin out. He's going to have to give the place back. Jinnit will, I'm afraid. Oh, this looks like there's some shenanigans going on here. Very interesting to see if someone gets a penalty from this, as I'm pretty sure I saw fresh bodywork down on the tarmac there. This has been.
Still got his front wing, so.
Yeah, it's good to do a little front wing check. Actually, that's a good shout. But I think it's been a pretty hectic safety car run. This.
Yeah, we've already seen carnage, and we're only 7 laps in, so.
Okay, safety car is going to be in this lap. So I'm not sure how many restarts Brian has done. I don't know when the best place to go for a safety car restart is, to be honest, around here. I think I like to just crawl to the line and just wait for the last second and then blast it.
I think you kind of want to weave and stop weaving as late as you can to kind of catch the person off behind you.
Cool,
and already we've got Josh all over the back of Brian. So.
And we'll get ready for the safety car restart now. Hopefully we can get some clean corners together in this race as we see James straight into the pit, and he is away now. Oh, the two Mercedes with Jesse and Josh alongside each other. Logan just sitting in the back making sure he's going to stay clean. I think Jesse looked like he was going for a dive there, didn't quite make it. Might actually now lose a little bit of time to Logan behind as Josh manages to go. Oh, but Jesse's round and he's straight into the wall and he's going to lose his front wing. Absolute disaster for him. Too much pressure at the front. That's going to be another pit stop for him that he does not want to be going for. But back at the front, another free place for Logan as I think we see more cars jostling for position. The leaders seem to be nice and safe on their own. But I know Brian 2K needs to get up on the back of this pack to try and make it up to where his other Red Bull driver is doing so well. He's had not so much of a great race at the moment. I see Thomas Hunter Hegel has managed to make up some places as well after a bit of an incident before, up to P5. But relatively clean start there. Obviously, unfortunate for Jesse. He managed to hit the wall. Unfortunately, luckily, didn't take anyone else out with him. But probably the cleanest little section of the race we've seen so far. And we still had someone going into the wall.
Yeah, I mean that situation with Jesse just then. Yeah, that's just unfortunately he was a victim to the cold tires on the restart, and yeah, just got a little impatient with the throttle, and yeah, unfortunately put it on the wall, but managed to keep all four wheels attached to the car.
Luckily, he did. I'm just looking at the hip here. Josh, right on the back of Brian as we come onto the main straight now. Who's going to get the better exit coming out through here? Lovely to see Logan just holding onto the back of these guys. Make sure he saves his ERS. Still not going to have DRS this time around. And it looks like Brian might be using a little bit more power than Josh, as he is going to stay ahead. Obviously, don't know what setups these guys are using. But Brian, Josh, Logan, and Tom make our top 4. I noticed that James Simmons, Tadpole, he's right down at the back in P16.
Well, I wonder if he had an issue on the restart.
Yeah, that's not what you'd be expecting to see from Tadpole, who I know is going for a championship fight here, and I'm sure Hegel will be loving that at the front. So top 3 separated by under a second, with Hegel now in that DRS zone behind the Ferrari as well. So normal BBB racing has resumed. Because and a big moment from Brian. Oh, that's such a shame.
Oh, that's a big shame.
Absolutely lost it on his own. No reason to really lose it there. Just too much pressure. And now look at how hard it is for him to get back on the track. The tyres are too hot. Those hard tyres are going to take a while to get to the right temperature. And he's right now back with his teammate. What a shame. Absolute disaster. Oh, he's still all over the place.
Yeah, see, it's unfortunate on this track because, you don't have a chance to let the tyres kind of cool. It's, it's one turn after another, so... Yeah, he's gonna be praying down that back straight that the tyres get to a reasonable temperature.
I don't know. Someone else who might have been praying is Logan, because this race has just fallen into his hands at the moment. Not a track that he's very comfortable with. Not a track that he thought he'd be scoring a lot of points in. Currently in P2. Oh no,
Brian's gone round again.
Yeah, we can see that now. He's just having a bit of a nightmare as Brian dropped right to the back. That is going to be so hard for him to mentally reset and get back into this race. I hope he does so, because it's still 15 laps to go. Oh, Brian actually retired as we say that. Disconnected from the game. I think that might have been a rage quit, because that was clearly nothing wrong with the car there. Hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car, because this is something that we tend to not want to happen in the league.
I believe it could do, because it's coming into a heavy braking zone. The car's pulled up in front of the barrier, the turn 27. So we'll just see where that goes. Oh, and Logan looking at the inside of Josh there.
Yeah, Logan looking fighty here. Just needs to keep it calm. The only problem with staying a little bit more safe in this one is that it means that the guys behind you will get right back on you, and as soon as they're on you on Jeddah, anyone can overtake anyone here. It's another moment for Logan. Not what we want to see. I think there is a Jake Smalls facing round backwards as well. This is what we thought might happen here in Jeddah. It is such a tricky track, and when it gets competitive, when the nerves come into play, everything can kind of go wrong. But what's not going wrong, the front pack here. Now we see Tom and Logan, both with DRS. Logan going for a move on the inside here. Josh got to cover it off. He's going to try and go wider, get a better exit through. Is he going to manage to do so? It's going to be a bit of a drag race to the line. Those mediums, they look like they're cooked already. Look at the traction that Logan's got. Yeah, and exactly, he's going to drop right into the pits. So the hard tyres here might be the way to go.
And now Logan's pulling out that lead.
Oh, and Tom actually in the pits as well. So both these medium runners now, Tom going for fresh mediums, whereas Josh, I believe, going onto the hards. So strategy all over the place this weekend. No one clearly knows what's going on. And another safety car. Do we think this is for Brian?
This could well be for Brian. I mean, it makes sense. Car was stuck at the end of a heavy braking zone, at the end of the back straight. So.
That is not ideal.
It's either Logan's pulled a blinder, or this is a mistake on the strategy side.
Yeah, I think. Well, how many laps? This is going to be another 3 laps under the safety car. That's going to put us to about 14. And then you'll have to do, which will be kind of 10 laps, really. And then, another 5? So 15 laps on these hards. I think that's going to be very tough to do.
Yeah.
I would expect one of these guys to pit for some softs potentially towards that. But
See, another interesting one here is Robert Arnold. So we saw him on those soft tyres, going up,
yeah,
going up the field, and now he's back on the hard tyres. So, and he's in the points. So yeah, maybe that was him banking on a safety car.
yeah, not the way you'd want a safety car to come though. Annoyingly, that's not the best way of getting one. But unfortunately, we did get one. And if you're a Robert Arnold fan, as I'm sure most of us are, that's great to see. Love to know how Logan's feeling about this. If he's feeling robbed, if he's feeling like this was taken away from him, or if he thinks maybe he's still in a good position. It's going to be very, very tricky to do. Harrison, he's in the exact same position as Harrison, who does have penalties. I'm not entirely sure how much.
Both the same age tyres as well. So you know, there's no kind of advantage between the two of them.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, the order's really shuffled around, hasn't it?
It has indeed. I've actually got Mattia Bonotto Leon on the pit wall, letting us know that Logan is feeling good about this one. No worries about him. So he thinks that he's in the right position here. I'm not sure if that's quite the case. Although the closest car I can see who has any kind of big strategy advantage over him is actually Thomas Hunter on the mediums. And I think those mediums will probably drop off towards the end as well. So yeah, it's not an easy one to call this, but Logan in position at the moment to win the game, and we'll see how that goes. Are we going to check on Hegel? Are we getting some pit wall action? Can we any of my pit crews that are in the chat right now just get on the radio to the drivers in this count time and let us know how they're feeling. Yeah, as Leon's saying, Hunter has to battle through a lot of the pack, and the mediums will flatline by the end. So Ferrari strategy, not usually the best, but this isn't real Ferrari strategy. This is lovely Leon, so hopefully his strategy is a little bit better.
Yeah, well, like we said, they've got their team principal with all the data given to them for the race. So at the moment, they could be on the summit special, especially with Logan now in the lead.
Yeah, I mean,
on a track where he wasn't confident in being anywhere close. So
yeah, this is a real. If he can win this, right? If he wins this race, he will fully believe that he's going to win the championship 100%. Because this is one of the races where I think he really thought he wouldn't get anything from here. It does give me nerves when I see him weaving under safety car. He has crashed so many times under a safety car, and it breaks my heart.
It's tricky with, you're trying to keep the temperature in the tyres, but sometimes you get a little bit too. And Brian 2K coming through that corner a little hot. Okay, safety car in this lap.
So Logan, one of the more experienced drivers when it comes to safety car restarts. Harrison right behind him, rapid on the restarts, so definitely one to watch out for here. We've got Brian 2K making it up for his other fallen Brian, who who's now made it up into P3, and then we've got Matt LaRich. But I think the one to watch will be Thomas Hunter with one lap old mediums. Logan thinks that's the only one he needs to worry about, as we see Harrison getting right alongside.
Bit of a Max Verstappen here.
Yeah, as Logan is now going to leave.
Logan's gone.
I think that might not have paid off Harrison too well. He's not going to have any opportunities to get him on this main straight, as we see Thomas Hunter though is going to make a move round the inside of Matt LaRicci, getting squeezed very hard, but just enough racing room being left. Is he going to make it around the outside? He is just about holding it around the outside at the moment, and there's now going to become the inside of this next corner. One of them's going to have to back out. Who's it going to be? It's not going to be Thomas. He's going to make it up into P4. That's already one car dispatched on his pursuit now of Logan. So lovely to see that. This battle, I think, is going to get nice and spicy towards the end if everyone can just keep it on the track. But now, next car up the road is Brian. Looks like these mediums have fired up really, really early compared to these hard tyres, as he's now going to dive another move down the inside. Going to make that one look nice and easy, I believe, unless Harrison gets in his way. He is absolutely charging through the field right now. Logan has got to be worried about these mediums.
Yeah, those mediums came to life pretty quickly, and as you can see, it's paying off. Already 2 places, and we're not even, a lap after the safety car, and he's on the back of Harrison now.
Yeah, I would have thought that coming up on this next back straight, Hegel is going to be overtaking Harrison and then chasing down Logan. Leon, get the calculator out, mate. Get the graphs together because you got to come up with something if you're going to keep Logan this win. Right now, he's now only got one car. No, Thomas has now made that gap. So the only car behind Logan is that car on the softer compound of tyres, on the fresher compound of tyres. The only man on the grid at the moment that looks like he can take this away. I don't know what Logan does here. Does he just hold out now on the hards until these mediums fall off? Because I feel like they're going to, with a 9-lap-old hards and 3-lap-old mediums, probably going to flatline at around the same time.
Well, I just think that Logan just needs to stop looking in his rearview mirror and just focus on, you know, taking it corner by corner. Because the more you look in the mirror and see that delta, you know, disappearing, you need to kind of, you know, concentrate on what you're doing, focus on your race, and you like I said, keep it consistent. Because Thomas could be, you know, putting in some major laps, but if he's not consistent, he doesn't keep it consistent, and you know, could even end up bringing the safety car out if he starts getting ahead of himself. Because you know, those mediums could fall off quite quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is going to be a really interesting end to the race at the moment. I know that Logan is going to be defending as hard as he possibly can because I think if he knows that if Hegel gets through, that's going to make it a lot more difficult. Little hello to Liam and his mum out there, my co-commentator and my co-commentator's mum, having a great time. But for the moment, our great time is right here as we see that 1 second gap now broken from Thomas to Logan. This is going to be surely now with DRS. This race feels a little bit over. I don't know how Logan's going to keep him behind for the next 10 laps.
He might have been saving up all his ERS just for this one straight.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
then Thomas might have been doing exactly the same thing, so it's, you know, who's got the better straight line speed.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap actually falling out there. I said we didn't have DRS, so that was crucial for Logan to keep him behind for the moment. As we just look here, Brian 2K, is he going to be able to get a move on the back of Harrison? No, it looks like he's going to be a little bit too far away. But it'd be great to see Brian 2K making it up into the podium positions. Right now we've got Harrison, Logan and Thomas, all of which I believe have sat on the podium before, unless I'm mistaken about Harrison. But yeah, definitely the old boys weekend as we see Tadpole just checking in on him in P8. So nothing too bad, but definitely not the race that he thought he'd be having this weekend.
Now we've got Robert Arnold up to P7. Rob, my old teammate from last year.
Oh, is that your old team? I forget, yeah.
Big shout out to Haas.
Oh, wow, that's great to see. Oh, who was that facing backward? That was Harrison. No, Harrison. He's lost it as well now. So that's another one out of contention. And look at how much wheel spin's going on there to try and keep that.
You can see those. You can see on his dash the rear tyres are in the triple digits, which is absolutely not what you want.
No, awful stuff there for Harrison. He's going to be really kicking himself on that one. But Thomas now much closer already coming into this straight. I wonder if Logan's going to let him go here. Do a little bit of Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, get the DRS. I think he might be doing it. Are we going to see heavy on the brakes? We are, both of them hitting quite heavy there. And now Logan is going to get the inside line. Who got the DRS though? That's the crucial thing. Which one of these wings is going to pop in first? It's Logan to the Ferrari with the DRS. Or forced off the track a little bit there, getting a little bit argy-bargy. Now Logan knows he needs to keep him behind through this section. It's a lot harder to overtake. He does manage to do so. Great driving there from both of them. Wonderful tactical driving. But this is going to be it now to the end, I feel like, until these tyres fall off.
I'm surprised people were even going to try that kind of tactics, but it was great to see. It was very well played by Logan there.
Yeah, we've got an angry Bonotto in the chat screaming that was a totally unfair overtake. But we'll let the stewards deal with that one. Right now, we're just enjoying the racing, just checking him around the grid, seeing if there's anything else going on.
I wonder if Thomas is going to try and kind of protest that, but we'll, you know, the rule book doesn't say you can't do it, so you know it's just smart play by Logan. Yeah,
I think we've got Leon angry that he was Logan was forced off into the pit lane there when he was trying to squeeze through. I mean, it did look a little bit elbows out, but I didn't catch anything that really looked too aggressive. But we'll see if that evolves onto this next lap, as we do have another yellow out. Just trying to see who that is. Is that a safety car? That is a safety car, I believe. Full track safety car. Another one. Any idea where that was caused? I can't quite
I can't see
catch
on the
it.
mini map. No.
No. But I wonder what happens now. They've got quite a gap to the cars behind them. Does Logan now maybe pit for fresh mediums? Can he do it?
It would be the smart thing to do, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Oh, he
does
fakes
go
him.
in.
Oh, he tried to
fake
fake him into the pit lane.
Oh.
Oh, we love to see the mind games. Absolutely fantastic mind games coming out here from the both of them. Oh, apologies. 1 second. Yeah, absolutely insane stuff there. I think it could be. Yeah, so this is what I was curious about. Brian 2K, he pits. Oh no, he had a big spin, didn't he? I was thinking about who was in P3. Are they going to be able to make a pit lane, to make a pit stop and get on the back of these guys? Because Logan is now going to be on very, very old tyres coming into the last section of this race.
He's probably looking at it going now, thinking, I should have just pitted.
Yep.
So he had the gap to maybe just slot in. Maybe, you know, P3, maybe P2.
Yeah. And we saw Hegel on the fresh mediums versus some of the like fairly fresh hards and how easily he was able to cut through the field. I feel like if Logan had popped in there and put the softs on, even if he came out P4 or P5, he'd probably have a good chance of getting to the front of the grid. But well, they haven't. It's far too late now. And we do have a few drivers, namely Harrison on fresh softs, Jinnit on fresh softs, Jake fresh softs. These guys are right at the back. But they'll need to. They have a lot of cars to get through if they're going to catch up to the leaders.
Could Logan be trying to go to the end of the race?
I don't know. I think he kind of has to now.
Because you know those Thomas has got 6 lap old mediums, and they're towards the end of the race they're going to start falling off pretty drastically. Well, the hard tyre, because of the safety car, might be able to last until the end. So I have a feeling this race isn't over yet. We could see Logan come back into play towards the end. Yeah,
I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the strategy here. I do think Logan's in the worst position currently, but as you say, if he can do something quite smart with this, potentially, I think the lucky thing for him is how many cars there are between him and Jinnit on fresh softs, because that is a scary thing to get through.
It'd be interesting. I don't know if we could see from our cameras. Might have to watch it again on the replay after the race. But did either of them cross the white line to come back onto the track while dummying it?
Ooh, chappers.
Yeah, maybe we might have.
We're telling.
Race control.
Yeah, race control. Can we have a little look? Because that's a very, very good point. That is pretty cut and dry. I don't believe Logan did, from my perspective.
No, but I'm thinking more of Thomas.
Yeah.
He was quite close, and he did, you know.
Yeah, tricky one. Well,
maybe he wasn't expecting it.
Well, if anyone in the chat, I think this is a good time to get your predictions in for who's going to win this race. I think that's not an easy call at the moment. I think the only person I'd probably write off, and maybe this is going to be a reverse commentator's cast, but James on the 10-lap-old hards, that's Tadpole from last time out. Similar position to Logan there, but with a lot of faster cars around him, it's going to be quite tricky for him to stay in that position, and definitely going to be hard for him to make any moves forward. I think maybe, I made Brian 2K. Maybe he can make a run through these guys in front.
Yeah, he's got a fresh set of mediums, and everyone else on him is on, you know, old hards. So he's got a chance to do a bit of a Thomas and just cut through the field, and maybe get it up to P3.
Yeah, I think that would be
if he can keep that advantage. And did someone just go off there?
I just checked. I think it was Hegel. I think he didn't quite go off, but he nearly did, warming up these tyres. Yeah. Oh god, the way that these guys warm up the tyres is horrible.
I always used to get nervous that I'm going to be, because I used to drive in cockpit view.
I see.
I can't drive in the third person cams, but whenever you're weaving, obviously your whole screen's doing this. It's going side to side, so when someone just all of a sudden puts the brakes on in front of you, you're like, oh my god. Yeah, can get pretty close at times.
Well, once again, been here many times tonight. Coming up now onto the main straight for a safety car restart. Logan played it to perfection last time, didn't give anyone a chance to catch up to him. Thomas managed to make up 3 places on the opening lap and get right onto the back of Logan. So we'll see how this one goes. I think Logan's gone very, very early there. I think he's absolutely done Thomas there. No way did Thomas think that was going to happen.
Thomas was still weaving when Logan got going.
So absolutely perfect restart there for Logan. Exactly what he needs. Actually, Josh putting more of a squeeze on Thomas there than Logan is. So he's done what he needed to there. Big squid nearly into the wall. It was nearly all over. These tyres still not quite up to speed, but gave himself the space to make that mistake. So that's great to see. As I think
we have a McLaren in the wall of Jinnit.
Oh, that is such a shame, Jinnit. One of the ones we really wanted to see make a big impression on this grid on those softs has gone backwards, which is a bit of a shame to see. I think the leaders are fine for the moment, so we're going to jump on board with Jake Smalls, leader of this soft tyre pack, see if he can do anything coming into this braking zone. What they're going to do, both going wide. Jacob Martin going very, very wide there as Brian's going to slip right down up the inside and make that one stick. Oh, and an incident there. I think he just lost it. I don't believe there was any contact, but that is Jacob Martin spinning all the way around.
Another victim of the cold hard tyres. We've seen that a lot on this track, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more of it on future tracks.
Exactly, yeah. These tyres just so much more difficult to light up, as we see. Surely Jake's not going for a move down here. Looks like he actually is. Oh, not quite. It does enough to get Matt Laurino to go wide though, and we're going to jump back to the leaders.
Coming to play.
Just quickly jumping back to the leaders here. Thomas making a move down the inside. I think Logan did brake again. I think he should have DRS. We'll have to see if it's going to be enough this time. Those hard tyres maybe not working quite as well. He does have DRS. No DRS open this lap, of course. So hopefully that wasn't a play from Logan, because it wasn't going to work. He's going to try and swing it around the outside. Going to have to be very, very late on the brakes. It's not going to work. So Hegel on those fresher medium tyres, the orange McLaren, is going to make its way through past Logan. 15 lap old hards with 5 laps to go in this race. Surely too late to pit now. I think this might be disaster for Logan's chance of winning this race.
Yeah, to pit now is, it's that's race ending. Yeah, you're gonna drop right down the field. So I think you just got to try and stick it out on these hard tyres and hope for a mistake from Thomas.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes as we're just cutting back here. The Alfa Romeo of Matt Laurino is right on the back of Jake Smalls. He has been for some laps now. Didn't quite get past him in the incident before. But was that Jake round as well? Mother. That is such a shame. So many cars losing it on this corner. Oh, we need to be careful of that front wing as he swings back round. But Jake, these soft tyres, I think, giving maybe people a bit too much confidence that they can do things with the car that the cars aren't quite ready for yet. And I will say, just jumping back in, Tadpole or James Simmons up to P4, chasing down Josh Wilmot. He might still be on for a podium.
That's quite. Look, he's going to get past him.
Yeah.
Unless Josh can pull something clever into
turn
27, he's going to get the DRS on James.
Yeah, I think James's tyres are quite old, but they're not much older than Josh's, to be honest. So there's not really much tyre advantage. And once again, we've got a Thomas Hunter and a Logan Watt and a James on our P1, 2 and 3, and it makes it look like this race was predictable, boring and straightforward, but it's been anything but that. It's been a bit of a mad one, to be honest, and there's only 4 laps left of it. I don't see Logan managing to get onto the back of Thomas here unless those mediums drop off hard. What do you think the likelihood of that is?
It depends how Logan having a little bit of a moment there. It depends how hard that Thomas wants to push him. If he sees the 4 laps to the end, he's just got to think: is it worth creating a gap so that if the tyres do drop off a cliff, then he's got that gap to kind of nurse them home, or does he start nursing them now and just control the gap to Logan?
Yeah, I think probably he's going to just be going for it. If I know Thomas, I think he'd likely just absolutely gun it until the line now. Might not be the smartest thing to do, but I think that's probably what he will be doing.
We have yellow in sector 2.
Yeah, that is Matt Laurino having an incident. Another one. Lots of these soft tyres seemingly not holding out very well, as we're seeing so many incidents, so many spins.
We're seeing a lot of people struggling with the rear end of the car. I don't know if that's again down to setup, or people just getting a little bit too eager on the throttle pedal.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest, because it does seem to be all over the track. I thought if it was maybe one corner, might be a throttle thing, people just getting a little bit cocky, but it's all over the place. As we see Josh here trying to cling onto the back of James, who is an absolutely rapid driver. So even with the tyre advantage, it's going to be tricky to stay with him, but he's doing a good job at the moment.
Yeah, and we can see, and we know that James has been putting in the time on this track.
Yeah, I think he would have wanted a win. I think he would have expected a win. He's going to have to settle with a podium, and the way this race has been, I don't think that's anything to sniff at, really. But it's not been a predictable race, this one. I'm just trying to see if any of these soft tyre drivers, as we see Brian 2K has an incident. He's going to crash out. Is that a full safety car?
That is, I think that's full at the moment.
Now, can anything happen for this? This is...
I think the safety car might come out.
Speeding on a safety car penalty for Matt Laurino. The safety car is out. So that would assume that there'll be one more lap of racing.
And who is going to take the risk and pit for fresh, soft tyres?
Oh, this is going to be so tight. Thomas, he's the gap now. If I was Logan, I would keep that gap as big as possible, just to make sure that there's no funny business going on. What is Thomas going to do here? If he stays out, then Logan pits in. I think he's going to have a few more people to go through. He's not going to go for it. Logan surely isn't going to go for it. Logan is going for it.
Logan is going for it.
Oh, I don't know if this is going to work out.
Is this Leon's data coming together? Has he done the calculations? Is it going to work out for him? Straight onto the soft tyre, and where is he going to come out?
It's going to be vital that he comes out. Oh, he's dropped a lot of places. He's dropped a lot of places. Logan might have thrown away some serious amounts of points here.
Yeah.
I mean...
Ferrari strategy coming into play again.
Yeah, I've got Leon in the chat saying that was not his call. That was a driver call. Ooh, P7.
That's gonna be some awkward internal conversations.
Oh, the chat is going mad at Logan right now. Well, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it play out yet. Just hold on, guys. This might be the best lap in F1 2022 history, right? It's only the 8th. Like we've got plenty of time left in this race. He's probably gonna have one lap, maybe two. We're going to come around now onto lap 24. I don't think the safety car is going to be in this lap.
Rob Arnold up to P5 in the Haas.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Josh Wilmot, P3. Mercedes, 3 and 4 right now. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Ferrari, P7 and P11. Jason Kennedy, is worth saying, having technical issues, couldn't rejoin, so it's not really representative. Jake Smalls, P12. On the fresh start, he pitted as well. So, according to Logan's strategy, Jake Smalls could probably get P5. Oh, safety car in this lap.
They're going to get 2 laps of racing.
That's more than I thought. I thought we might only have 1 lap.
So all the hard tyre users might suffer a bit here, because obviously they've only got a lap, and no, they've only got 2 laps to try and get the tyres up to temperature.
I mean, here we go again. I think for the 5th time tonight, safety car restart.
James could be on for a win here if he can pull it out.
I mean, I want to keep an eye on Logan. Actually, James getting a fantastic restart here. He's going to be right alongside Hegel. I think he's going to beat him before they even get to the line. Those medium tyres already wearing out. Great defensive driving there from Hegel to keep in place. Logan needs to keep it sensible here. Just going to jump on board with him quickly, see how fast he can dispatch these cars with these soft tyres. He's already cutting up through. He's up into P5. Everyone in the chat calling him an idiot, saying this was never going to work. Actually, looks like he might have enough time to make some serious places here. Don't know if he's going to get the win, but it's going to be some fantastic racing and definitely enough points in the bag for Ferrari to maybe make this less of a terrible call. We've got a yellow flag out. I do believe that is Jinnah again. He's had a many spin. Oh no, that's your friend Arnold. Arnold is out, unfortunately, as we see Logan up into P4 already. He's right on the back of this pack. I'm telling you, he might have played an absolute blinder here. This is some serious pace coming out from Logan. The car in front of him is 2 compounds down and 13 laps older tyres. We saw something similar to this happen in Bahrain. It didn't quite pay off for Alex. He was stuck in P4, couldn't get that podium position. Logan already so far up the grid. He's only got 2 laps to go, but I think he could definitely get podium.
Another yellow in sector 2 with Jake Smalls. I think he has spun. He's back on track now.
Yeah, unfortunately, the strategy not working out for Jake Smalls, but all eyes here on Logan. He's going to surely absolutely whip past Josh Wilmot here to get into the podium positions. Is he going to go for a move down the inside?
Until the end of the race now. We won't have DRS for the remainder of the race.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, yeah, it's 2 laps, right? So he's not going to have that DRS. So he's up into P3. So right now, if he manages to get past James, he took a risk and it didn't pay off. And that's fine. But he didn't lose anything. But if he can get the win here, this might be one of the biggest brain calls we've ever seen in BBR history. He's got the remainder of this lap to do it. Hegel, 14 lap old mediums. Surely he can't hold on to this.
He's already all over. He's already gaining on James. And I think on this next straight, he's going to be really close.
Oh, this looks very, very good. Watch the exit difference speed here. Now he needs to really get on the back of James here. Now this...
Using up that battery.
Yeah, he's got plenty of battery to play with, though, to be fair. Got quite a lot to work with there.
Very, very late on the brakes, but those tyres are allowing him to do that.
Oh, very, very close to the wall. He needs to get past James. It needs to be the win. It's a great drive if he manages to get P2, but he really needs to get this win here. He's got the speed. It's going to be really, really hard, I think, to get onto the back of Thomas, unless Tom has some sort of mistake coming into the next sector. Tom, James, Logan, we see it. We saw it last week. We're seeing it again this week. I feel like we're probably going to see it next week as well. But this is going to go right down to the wire. Logan all over the back of the Alpha Tauri in front of him. It does look like it might be a little bit too far for Thomas.
Logan just needs to keep it wide and get a better exit. He might have a chance if those hard tyres are not working.
Oh, it's going to be right down to the line here, onto the final lap. It does look like Tom has managed to do enough to keep the win for the moment. Tom's going to come across the line, take P1. James is going to hold off Logan in P2, but what a little drive there for the end to try and shake it up. Fantastic moves from him. P4 and P5 for the Mercedes. Jinnit P6, that's a pretty cracking drive considering how many times he spun around. Harrison P10. Harrison in P7. Robert Arnold and Haas, both Haas in the points. Robert and Jacob there getting 8 and 9. Jason actually making the most of all of Matt's penalties, getting the second Ferrari in the points. Matt Larich in P11 with Jake Smalls rounding off the finishers. Not too many of them. And then we had Brian, Arnie, Callum, Brian, Jordan and Mark, all our DNFers today. But you've got to say, what a last lap. Only a second covering the last 3 positions and a massive strategy call from Ferrari there, nearly paying off for the win. But sadly not, and not sadly if you are Hegel, who had a bit of an up and down race himself.
Yeah, I think such a dramatic last couple of laps of that. I generally thought that Logan's master plan was going to pay off, but unfortunately, he ran out of laps and couldn't get it done. But what an exciting race!
Yeah, and I mean, it's good to see that though, right? He didn't play that safe. He went for that big call. I think we all thought that he'd not get anywhere with those positions, but there he is up on the podium, continuing that championship battle. I think it is going to be between these 3. It is looking very, very spicy at the moment. It's such a shame we don't have the current standings up. I'd love to know how that shakes things up, because I think it's we've only just finished. We need to get our thoughts together, get our calculations done. But congratulations to Hegel. Fantastic race from him. Love to have a word with him, actually, if possible. That would be fantastic. If he wants to make his way into the chat, that'd be great to see that.
Shall I ping him?
Yeah. Let's see if they want to come on into the broadcast chat. I think we might need some help with that, unfortunately. But as we cut back to us here, fantastic, absolutely sick race there. Good to see another race winner. Good to see another race winner there with Hegel. Tadpole, amazing recovery drive. I feel like anyone who placed high today seemed like they had a serious recovery drive, because it was not easy.
Everyone had a race full of ups and downs. No, I don't think anyone had a simple race. But that was, that was exciting.
Cool. And we actually have our drivers with us currently. Well done, everyone. I feel like we're going to be... What's the Harry Potter meme with the three of them? Why is it always you three? I feel like this room is going to be filled with the same three most weeks. So we will start with our P3, Logan. How are you feeling, mate? How are the nerves?
Shot, to be honest. I'm just glad to finish that race.
Yeah, I mean, fair play. I know you were worried about the consistency. You were worried about keeping it out of the wall. You kept a very clean race, I believe, right? And then managing to pull off some serious entertainment for the end of the race, as if we hadn't had any already. What was your thoughts with that? With pitting in for the softs?
Well, we done a team talk beforehand about where you could pit and like where the space needs. We'd gone quite in depth on it, and I thought to myself, right, okay, well, there's the drivers that are back there. I could probably get past theirs, so do you know what? Let's just do it, because Tadpole behind me he's quicker on this track, fresher tire. So I thought he was going to come past me anyway, to be honest. So I thought, we'll gamble it, because I think I can get back to at least P3, if not higher.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely smashed it. So fantastic. Love to see the championship fight continue. You mentioned Tadpole there. Tadpole, what an up and down race for you. Managing to get P2 in the end. I mean, just crazy race. How did you reset coming back through the field those times?
Yeah, it was pretty annoying when I got the first 5-second time penalty for the pit stop, but it's calm down, take it easy, and then the spin. I did have to blame myself on that one, just obviously. And then I think I had no idea that I thought it was over pretty much. I was thinking maybe P10, but and then I got into P5 and thought, oh, maybe I have a chance.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, amazing pace. You knew you had the pace, I guess, which is important. But there was just so many safety cars this race. I think there was 5. So plenty of chances to kind of come back if you do have a mistake. But I said before when I was chilling with playing Rocket League before this stream, I spoke to my friend. I said, "Oh, by the way, you're in the call with the race winner for tonight, Hegel," and I wasn't wrong. You absolutely smashed it. Not an easy race. Did you think about jumping in for the softs on that last lap?
I did. It was. I want to give a huge props to Jenny. He was my engineer for that race. It was absolutely ridiculous. I spun at the start. I was like, "This is bad. I'm in P11. I don't know what to do." And then all the safety cars came out, and then as soon as he told me to pit for the mediums, I just kept going, and they were just quicker than the hards, luckily. And then when that last safety car came out, he was like, "Pit for softs," and I'm like, "I don't know if this is worth it because." Obviously, I could lose too many positions for it to be worth it. It potentially could have worked, as Logan proved. If he didn't have damage, then maybe it would have worked. But my mediums were only on about 40%, so I was like, I'm just gonna send it. First win in BBB, and I'm buzzing.
Yeah, I can't believe that's your first win, to be honest, because you've been such a solid driver. But joining the championship battle, definitely going to go down to the wire between you three. Lovely to see it. Next time out, I'm sure it will be a similar thing. It is a shame some of the drivers further down the grid had a lot of incidents. We didn't see, Mark would have loved to have seen what he could do here. But that is racing. This has been such a quality race tonight. Loads of safety cars, so appreciate. And we had some technical difficulties. So appreciate for sticking with us through that. But in the end, I think it was all worth it for those final few laps. So thank you so much, guys, for the entertainment. Thank you for racing. Griff, thank you for joining me on this one.
No worries, no problem.
Yeah, it's been good fun, and we will catch you next week out for the next track, which you all know is. Australia, Hegel. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and I knew that as well. Cool. So, cheers, guys. We will see you next week.